All right, I'm playing one of my favorite games today, Replay Baseball. I got a 1970 King of the Hill going. The Orioles are the current King of the Hill. They beat the Reds and the Twins. They're now playing the Yankees. The Yankees lead it 5-2. They've hit 3 homers. White, Ellis, and Cater have hit homers. Cuellar is hanging on by a thread, but he's still in there. He has a bonus inning of 7. So he can, as long as he doesn't give up 6 runs, he can stay on his A grades until he finishes 7 innings. He's an S8 overall. So Ron Hansen is going to lead it off against Mike Cuellar. In case you're not familiar, we rolled 3d6s. The red is used for the columns for both batter and pitcher. The white is used for the row on the batter, and the blue is used for the row on the pitcher. We get a number in each card, and we add them together and check the charts. And that's the general idea of how you play Replay Baseball. Top of the 6th, Hansen up. He's 0 for 2. And we got a 36, and a 36 is a 42. This is going to be a lefty-righty check, and this is going to be a base hit because it's a lefty pitcher against a righty hitter. It's a 42. And it's a 4, so it's a 46 in column 3. And a 46 in column 3 is a base hit against a left-handed pitcher. And that's Cuellar. He's a lefty, so it's a single to left for Ronnie Hansen. Hansen is on first with nobody out, and that'll bring up John Ellis. Ellis, one of those 3 Yankee home runs from John Ellis in this game. Runner on first, nobody out. And we get a 5-1 on Ellis and a 5-6 on Cuellar. So that is a 3, plus a 3 is a 6 in column 5. And a 6 in column 5 is a base on balls, but with a runner on first only, or bases full, it's 2 balls. So this is just a 2-ball count because there's a runner on first. It's not a walk. If you get it again, though, it will be a walk. So 2 balls on Ellis, and the pitch 2-3. 2-3 is a 4 against a 2-5 is a 2. That's a 6 in column 2, and that should be a strikeout. 6 in column 2 is a strikeout. So that is the 5th strikeout for Cuellar. And there's 1 out for Ron Woods. Ron Woods is 1 for 2 today. Singled in the 2nd inning. Hansen's on first, 1 out. And we got a 5-1 again, this time adding to a 5-6, and that's going to be a 5 this time added to the 3, and that's an 8 in column 5. And an 8 in column 5 is a walk. It would only be 2 balls with the bases loaded. So that's going to be first and second, 1 out. And Jerry Kenny, the lefty, is up. So this might be Cuellar's last batter. Let's see how he does against the lefty Jerry Kenny, who's 1 for 2 today. First and second, 1 out. And we got another 5, a 5-4 this time. 5-4 is a 1. The asterisk is a steal attempt on the auto steal. We'll ignore that for now. So we got a 1 against a 5-3 is a 1. So that's a 2 in column 5. And a 2 in column 5 is a ground at a first. The infield's halfway looking for 2. So that is out at second. Others advance. So it's just going to be a fielder's choice with the infield halfway. And that was, we'll call that a fielder's choice, 3-6, with Hansen going the third. So it'll be first and third, 2 out for Danny Cater. First and third, 2 out. Let's see if Cuellar can get out of the inning. First and third, 2 outs. Cater homered and 3 trips to the plate. And we got a 6-5. 6-5, this is going to be an out. 6-5 is a 31 against a 6-4 is a 3 is a 34 in column 6. And a 34 in column 6 is a short fly to center. So that does get Cuellar out of the inning. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th, 5-2. By the way, these raised numbers in column 5, they can prevent certain walks. That's why, but if it's not a walk, you can just ignore it. But they prevent certain walks on rolls of 6, 7, 8, and 9 in column 5. So Fritz Peterson takes the mound in the bottom of the 6th, and Merv Rettenman's going to lead it off. Orioles got 2 in the bottom of the 5th to get back into this game a little bit. They're still trailing 5-2. Rettenmund has struck out twice in 2 at-bats. And we get a 1-2, and this is going to be another strikeout. 1-2 against a 1-6, and that's a 2 plus 4 is a 6 in column 1. It is a strikeout. That is the 6th strikeout for Peterson. 3rd time Rettenmund's gone down on strikes. And I'll bring up Boog Powell, who's 0 for 2. 1 out, nobody on. And we got a 5-1 for Powell's a 5 against a 5-3 is a 1. That's a 6 in column 5. Now here we go with the raised number, because a 6 in column 5 will be a walk, but the 5-3, he has a 5 as a raised number. So if a pitcher has a raised number and the result is 6, 7, 8, 9 based on balls, you roll 1 die. If it's higher than the number, it's a walk. If it's not higher, it's just 2 balls. So it has to be higher than a 5. In other words, it has to be a 6 to be a walk. And it's not. It's a 4. So he prevents the walk, and it's just 2 balls on Powell. Powell now has 2 balls on him in the count. He doesn't walk, and we got to roll again. If you get it a second time, it is a walk. 2-1 is going to be a ground out. It's a 39 plus a 2-3 is a 3 is a 42 in column 2. And a 42 in column 2 is a grounder to short, but the runners advance. So they only get the out. Oh, there was nobody on, so it's 2 out, nobody on. Thought there was runner on first. That's right, because he didn't walk. So it's 2 outs, nobody on, just a grounder to short. And Frank Robinson will bat. And we got a 6-6, and this is going to be a home run. 6-6 against a 6-3. 6-3 is a 3, 6-6 is 11. That's a 14 in column 6, and that is a home run. So Frank Robinson homers and makes it 5-3 as they can inch a little bit closer. 2 in the 5th, and now they get 1 in the 6th after being down 5-0. Frank Robinson actually won their last game with a walk-off 3-run homer in the 10th inning. So here's Brooks Robinson. Frank Robinson homers, gets him a little bit closer. Now, if Powell had walked there, it would have been a 2-run shot. Now we got a 2-6. 2-6, and we're going to get a new raised number. It's shaded, so we have to roll on the ballpark card, and it's going to be added to a 2-6, which is a 4. So we got to re-roll the red and white and check the ballpark card. We got to get a new column 2 raised number. It's a 62. And on Memorial Stadium, column 2, 62 is a 4. So the new raised number is a 4, and the result is a 64 in column 2. So that is a drive towards the gap. The blue die was a 6, so it's to right field. So it's a drive towards the gap in right. That is Woods in right. He is a 4, but the new number was a 4, correct? Let's double check that. Yeah, the new number was a 4. So that is not going to be a place. I think it has to be higher. If outfield's defense is higher, then the raised number, he makes the catch. If it's not higher, it's a double. So that's going to be a double for Brooks Robinson. Double to right with 2 out. And now a home run and a double back-to-back after the first 2 guys were out. And Paul Blair with a chance to get a big hit. And we got a 5-3. 5-3 is a 40C. The C is just an action chart thing. We can ignore that for now. I think it's going to be, is it going to be now? No, it's not going to be. 5-3 against a 5-5. That's a 41 in column 5. And a 41 in column 5 is actually a hit by pitch. Now, Robinson doesn't go anywhere because he's not forced. And that's first and second. And now since second base is occupied, we ignore the C. The action chart is only if he got on and second base was open, it would be a steal attempt. But since second base is occupied by Robinson, it's just first and second, 2 out. And Davey Johnson will bat. And Fritz Peterson's getting himself into a little bit of trouble here. He hits Paul Blair. And now we got a 2-5. 2-5 is a 5 against the 2-6 is a 4. That's a 9 in column 2, and that's an out. A 9 in column 2 is a foul out to short, and that ends the inning. But they do get a run back and make it 5-3 now through 6 innings. So after being down 5-0, they are making a game of this. Cuellar has been hanging in there. having given up 5 runs. This is his last bonus inning. He has a bonus inning of 7, so he can pitch through this inning as long as he doesn't give up 6 runs. And he's given up 5 so far. So Clark will lead off against Cuellar. And we get a 3-5, and that's a 12 against a 3-6 is a 4. That's a 16 in column 3. And a 16 in column 3 is a triple to right center. That is a triple with 1 out and either right field and 5 arm. It's a double, but that's not the case. So it's a triple for Horace Clark leading off the inning. Wow. And that triple went to right field or right center. A triple for Horace Clark. 12 plus a 4, 16. So now there's a runner on third. Nobody out for Thurman with White on deck, and I think we're going to pull Cuellar. Cuellar goes 6 plus. They got Munson's a righty, then they got the switch hitter White, and then they got Mercer. So we're going to go to the bullpen, and we're going to go to Dick Hall. Dick Hall is going to come in to pitch to Thurman Munson. Hall is an R5. I just do one of the options you have for endurance for relievers is just to add 2 to their R number. So he's going to be an R. He's going to face 7 batters he can face. The R5, and then you just add 2. So he'll be a 7 batters is his endurance. Thurman is up. The infield's going to have to come in with a runner on third and nobody out. Dick Hall facing Thurman. Runner on third, nobody out, infield in. And we get a 2-1. And that's a 38. That's a 42 in column 2. And with the infield in, any ball hit to first, second, third, or short bounces through infield for a single. Runners advance 2 bases. Wow. So that, what was that? Let's just double check that number. That was a 38. And 4 is a 42, was a grounder to short. So this is going to be a base hit with the infield drawn in, and that's going to drive in the run. So the infield in, and the base hit goes into left field. Thurman gets the RBI, and the Yankees lead it 6-3. The infield in there caused that to be a hit. And Roy White will bat with Munson on first. There was no steal on that, was there? No. No, there was nothing on a steal there, so Roy White will bat with a runner on first, nobody out. And we got a 6-1. There's going to be a fly ball. 16 against a 6-3 is a 2. Is an 18 in column 6 is just a deep fly to left. Runner holds, 1 out. Yankees now lead at 6-3. Bobby Mercer will bat. And that's a 46. That's a 5 against the third baseman's defense, who is Robinson is a 1, is a 6 in column 4 with the infield halfway. And that is a pivot play. It's a possible double play. We got to use the pivot. Where is the pivot chart? Here it is. I got to roll on the pivot chart for a 6. And where was that ground ball? That was a 6 in column 4. Halfway was a second to first double play. Other runners advance. So that was a step ball went to third base. So the pivot is the second baseman. So the second baseman's defense is a 4. The pivot man's defense is a 4, so we have to roll 1 die. 1-3 is going to be a double play. And it's a 2, so it is going to be a double play. So that's going to go 5-4-3. Double play. So they get out of the inning, but they give up a big run. That's a big insurance run. And to go bottom 7, Fritz Peterson is going to face Andy Etchebarren in the bottom of the 7th. 6-3 now, Yanks lead it. And 6-3 on Etchebarren is a 36. That's a 39 in column 6, and that's a strikeout. So that's number 7 for Peterson. 1 out. Brings up Belanger. And we got a 2-4, and that's a 4 against the 2-6 is a 4 is an 8. And I think that's a pop-up or a foul out. That's a foul out to the third baseman. 2 out. 2 out, nobody on for Buford. And we got a 3-2. 3-2 is a 2. 3-3 is a 2. That's a 4 in column 3, and a 4 in column 3 is just a short fly to right field. And that's an easy inning for Peterson. Go to the top of the 8th. Hall faced 3 batters, so he can still face 4. So we'll keep him in the game for now. Hall will face Ron Hansen for the Yankees. Yankees leading at 6-3, top of the 8th. And we got a 43, which is a 2. Against a 41 is the first baseman's defense is a 3. So that's a 5, and that's just the ground to the first. 1 out. Brings up Ellis. And we got a 3-1. That's a 4. Against a 3-4 is a 2 is a 6. That just misses a hit. That's a short fly to center. 7 would have been a hit. 2 out. That'll bring up Ron Woods. And we got a 3-5. 3-5 is a 12. Against a 3-2 is a 2 is a 14 in column 3. And a 14 in column 3 is a liner to third. And that's going to be the end of that inning. We go bottom 8. Bottom 8 with Fritz Peterson still out there. He's past his point of weakness, but he didn't give up anything in the 7th, so he's fine. He hasn't given up a base runner. He's an S7. He's now in the 8th inning, so now's when he becomes vulnerable. But he's got a 3-run lead, so he'll face Rettenmund, who he struck out 3 times. It's an S7. Still on his A grades. 1-4. 1-4 is a 35. Against the 1-5 is a 3 is a 38 in column 1. 38 in column 1 is a ground to the third. 1 out. That will bring up Powell. Might be if he gives up a hit or a walk to Powell, then he'll probably go to the bullpen. And we got a 34. 34 is a 57. This is going to be a rare play check. 57 against the 4 is a 61. So we got to roll 1 dice. A 1 will be a possible foul out. 3 or a 5 will be a rare play. 2, 4, and 6 will just be a dribbler to the mound. That's a 2, 4, or 6 will be a dribbler to the mound. So the even number 2 is a dribbler toward the mound. We're going to try and get the runner out against his speed. The die has to be higher for him to be out. Powell's speed is a 1, so that's not too hard a task. And it's a 6, so he is out. So that's just a dribbler towards the mound. 1-3, 2 out. And that'll bring up Frank Robinson. 2 out, nobody on. We'll let him face him. Robinson homered last inning. There's a 2-4. 2-4 is a 16 against the 2-5. The 4 is a 20 in column 2, and I think that's an out. 20 in column 2 is a fly to right. So a nice 1-2-3 inning again for Peterson. He might be able to throw a complete game here. I'm going to go to the top of the 9th. I think we're going to switch out Hall. He's just about done, but he pitched well. He gets credit for 2 innings. Got Kenny, Cater, and Clark. Let's see who we're going to go to here. I go lefty or righty? I'm going to bring in Mo Drabowski. Mo Drabowski is going to come in. Drabowski, he's an R4 plus 2, means the R6, he could face 6 batters. First one of them is going to be Jerry Kenny. And we got a 3-1. That's a 13 against a 3-6 is a 3. That's a 16. Isn't that the triple? That's a triple to right center field, leading off for Kenny. Holy cow. That's another triple for the Yankees. Just double check that. 3-1 is a 13 against a 3-6 is a 3. 16. That's a triple to right center. With one out, there's a chance to hold that to a double, but that was leading off, and now they're going to have to bring the infield in. Again, runner on third, nobody out. They're going to have to bring the infield in against Cater. And we got a 56 against a 54, so that's 27, and 2 is a 29 in column 5. And a 29 in column 5 is a fly to center, and he does not have that carrot or whatever you call it, that little symbol, so that is not going to be a sac fly. You needed to have that symbol for it to be a sac fly, so runners are going to hold on that 29, which was a fly to center. So it was not deep enough to score to run, and there's one out now and a runner on third. Infield's going to stay in against Horace Clarke. Didn't hit it deep enough to get the sac fly. Here's a 3-2, and that's a 29. This might be a line out. 3-2 is a 29 against a 3-5. As a 2 is a 31 in column 3, and a 31 in column 3 is a line out to left. So now let's see. Line out to left with less than 2 out. Any runner on third may tag up and try to score with the third base coach. Kenny, what is Kenny's speed? Kenny is a 4, and the left fielder's arm is a 4, so that'll be a 0. Let me get the third base coach out. Where is my third base coach? Here he is. Third base coach normal on a 0. All right, let's try it. We're going to try and score the run here. I'm going to roll the dice. It's speed minus arm. That's going to be 4 speed minus 4 arm, which is a 0. So we're going to roll in the 0 normal column. And we get a 5. 5 on the 0 normal column is extra base. So the runner is going to score on the sac fly, and the Yankees take a 7-3 lead. That turns into a sac fly for Clarke. And the runner scores. So now there's 2 out, nobody on, and Thurman is up. Let the Yankees get that big insurance run. And now we get a 2-1, and that's a 38 against the 2-4 is a 39, and that is a ground out. And 39 is a ground out to pitcher to first. So that ends the inning. The Yankees now lead at 7-3, going to the bottom of the 9th. And Peterson's going to try and finish this game off. But if he allows a base runner, he's probably coming out. And it's going to be Brooks Robinson, Paul Blair, and Davey Johnson. They'll all bat against Peterson. Brooks Robinson has had a good day. He's doubled and singled and scored a run. Bottom 9, Yankees lead it 7-3, and we get a 6-2. Oh, and this is going to be trouble. 6-2 against a 6-2. We're going to get a new number because it's shaded, and it's going to be against added to a 3. So I got to roll on Memorial Stadium. Got to get the 2 dice out. Brooks Robinson. We're looking for a new column 6 number, and he's right-handed, so we got to look right-handed 23. At Memorial Stadium. Right-handed 23 is only a 6. So the 6 is going to be added to the 3. That's a 9. That's just going to be a single. No home run. Let me see where that single goes. Pull out my charts. And 6-9 is a single to center field for Brooks. And I think I'm going to go ahead and give Peterson hook, so he goes 8+. Brooks is on first, nobody out for Blair. And the Yankees are going to go to the bullpen. And they're going to reach in for somebody. Hold on. Gotta make. Should we just go to, it's not really a save situation, but we could just go to McDaniel. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Klimkowski. With the 4-run lead, I'm gonna go to Klimkowski. Ron Klimkowski is gonna come in. And he is an R6, so we'll just make him an R8. And he's gonna face Paul Blair. He had a good year in 42 relief appearances, 98 innings, 2.65 ERA. He's got a runner on first, nobody out for Blair. Blair will hit 18 home runs in 1970. And we got a 6-3, and that's a 36, and a 6-4 is a 3 is a 39 in column 6, and that's a strikeout. So Blair goes down. First strikeout for Klimkowski. Bring up Davey Johnson. He's going to bat as well. But Etchebarren will probably get pinch hit for it. Runner on first, 1 out for Davey Johnson. 1-3 is a 2. It should be a strikeout against a 1-4, and it is a strikeout. So he struck out the first 2 guys he's faced. And now with Etchebarren due up, we're going to get Elrod Hendricks in the game. Let me see if I can. Here's Ellie. Ellie Hendricks is going to bat for Andy Etchebarren with a runner on first and 2 out. There's Hendricks. Write him in. Hendricks pinch hitting. So we got 2 out with Brooks Robinson on first. They're down by 4. Klimkowski trying to finish this off for the Yankees. Fritz Peterson pitched great. Elrod Hendricks is batting. And 6-2, and this is going to be another shaded area, so we're going to get another number. It's going to be added to 6-6. It's going to be added to a 5. This could be a home run. Got to get Memorial out again. This time for a left-handed batter, we got to get a number. And let's see what the new number is going to be. Oh, it's a 65, so this is going to be a big prize. It's going to be a home run. 65 for a lefty batter is an 11. The 11 is added to a 5 is a 16, and that is a home run into the upper deck. That is a monster home run for Elrod Hendricks. Pinch hitting, driving in Robinson, and making this a 7-5 game. And it's now a 2-run game, bottom 9th. I'm going to have to pinch hit for Belanger. Let me see who I got. Righty on the mound. We might see McDaniel, but with Klimkowski on the mound, they got to bring up a left-handed hitter. Probably Terry Crowley, but let me go through my other options here. Crowley DH'd in the last game for them. Yep, it's going to be Terry Crowley pinch hitting for Belanger. They've cut it to 7-5. And they're trying to keep it going. Crowley pinch hitting for Baltimore. Now the Yankees are going to go to their closer, Lindy McDaniel, who saved 29 games for them. Klimkowski is out. He gives up the home run. Does get 2/3 with the 2 strikeouts. McDaniel coming in. He's an R5, can face 7 batters. We got Crowley pinch hitting against Lindy McDaniel. Orioles get 2 in this inning and make it 7-5, but they're down to their last out. And it's a 1-2 and a 1-2, and this should be a strikeout against a 1-4, and that's a 3 and a strikeout. So the Yankee relievers strike out the side. They do give up 2 runs, but they hold on to win this 7-5, and they become the new king of the hills, upsetting the Orioles. Fritz Peterson, great performance in 8+, beats Mike Cuellar. And now the Yankees will face the 1970 Pirates at home in the next King of the Hill. And that's Replay Baseball.